Okay, we're back and better than ever. Welcome. It's Captain Boring, your host. It is NotCFBIII, the co-host. We are where we need to be. We are covering everything college football. Well, I'll tell you what, Rob, Notre Dame fans are they're almost worse than Ohio State fans at this point. At least Ohio State fans remember that we put a beat down on them 4 straight years, right? Notre Dame fans had the audacity to think that their offense was at an all-time high last year, and that if they do start 0-2, that my prediction that he will be, quote, on the hot seat, Market Friedman, which I said in the clip, he will not be, was asinine. Even though last year, as soon as they lost to Northern Illinois, it was just, what do they call it? Pitchforks and torches.
The old crucifixion time.
Oh my goodness. They're just going to pretend like they forgot all that. They're going to pretend like their offense the last 2 seasons has just been a 40-point-a-game offense when their offense the last 2 seasons has started so slow. And now it's a fresh new starting quarterback, first-time starting quarterback. I can't anymore with you Notre Dame fans. I'm done picking fights with you in terms of I'm done responding to you on TikTok. When you guys want to have a level-headed conversation, you can add the comments in the YouTube section. Speaking of, thank you everyone who is engaging on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below right now, whether you're a Notre Dame fan or not. Comment down below, go to the YouTube page, go to Instagram, somewhere. Just comment, Notre Dame sucks. Because at this point, I'm a Michigan fan. I'm going to lead into it. You guys just suck, okay?
Tell me you had a rough day at work without telling me you had a rough day at work.
Dude, man. Yeah, like, I used to appreciate Notre Dame fans, and, okay, they got, no, not anymore. You know what? You're just worse than Ohio State fans at this point. Okay. Rob, Michigan and Western Michigan in talks next year. 2 schools, 90 minutes from each other, literally on opposite ends of the glove, I think. Because that's what it looks like on the map when you Google map it. Gonna go play in Germany. If there's one thing I can do without in football, NFL, I know they love it, and college football, it's overseas games. Don't need them, don't want them, get them out of here.
I mean, I get it. I get why they're doing them. Just because football is such a big sport. The NFL plays over there all the time now. Not so much the Big Ten, but just college football in general has been playing, at least in Ireland.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they should have got a little bit of a better game. Like, make it, if you're going to do a Big Ten school, do Michigan, USC or something where it's like, okay, they're both on the other side of whatever. So them going over would make more sense. Like, not when they're just like a 2-hour bus ride. But I get it, spread the wealth. These people a lot of people overseas don't understand the pageantry behind college football. But I also don't think, because I think Michigan's going to be home, aren't they?
I think so, yeah, because they're supposed to be home, yeah.
So it's like you kind of lose the pageantry there, and I think playing football games in soccer stadiums is the dumbest thing because it doesn't look right. They're not built for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because soccer's like, we're going to kick it down here, and now we're going to go kick it down here. We're going to kick it back down this way, and then we're going to kick it back there, and then maybe after an hour and a half we score one, maybe, where it's like football, you're just going. So, I don't know. Soccer's kind of stupid. It is, man.
Going in on college football, or going in on Notre Dame, going in on soccer.
They're going to Europe because, we got to teach them the real football.
We are 5 minutes into this podcast, and we have annihilated half of all sports fans in the first 5 minutes. I absolutely love it. What I want to know is Michigan covering the bill for Western Michigan? Because you can't tell me that Western Michigan has the financial ability to do this.
I can't imagine they would because, no, maybe they are. Maybe they are. Maybe they're saying we're going to cover everything. I don't know. That's a good question because would Western Michigan technically still get paid by Michigan? Because Like even if it was at Michigan, because they're not.
Or is that the payment where Michigan's just gonna pay for them to go over, right?
Or do they split whatever like revenue is from that game, kind of deal? I don't know.
I honestly like if you're gonna take two teams 90 minutes from each other and ship them over to Germany, right? Week 1, mind you, not even week 0. So it's added stressor for the kids. It's added additional financial costs. I don't want to hear anything about financial kids and can't pay kids and all of this stuff moving forward. I don't want to hear it because if you're going to take 2-hour bus ride, as you said, literally across the state of Michigan, and you're going to fly them 8 hours to Germany, I don't want to hear that there's no money in college football anymore for anything. Sorry, you've lost that argument with me.
Well, let's be honest. It's not like we're shipping Akron and Kent State over there.
Well, no, I understand that, but like, it's not cheap to fly all the equipment and staff and players.
I mean, no, you're not wrong,
right?
But I mean, because Michigan, I think that's going to be a week 0 game. I think because I think they're going to have off week 1, aren't they?
I would hope it's week 0. I would hope it's not week 1.
Because I think they said they'll have a bye after, and I think it's the same thing for Western Michigan, which makes sense.
Yeah. I think if you're going to
I don't know why they chose Germany right off the bat, though. Why would you not go to Canada first?
Yeah, Canada's literally right there. That'd be an easy one, right?
Mexico? Probably not so much. I don't really think that they... If you're going to do one for Mexico, I would not do Michigan and Western Michigan.
No, you do an LA school.
Either LA or you do like Texas, like a southern tier teams like Florida. If we're if you're gonna play on like an island somewhere,
Florida, you play in Cuba,
somewhere. The Big Ten schools, throw them up in Canada. Cold.
Washington,
it's normal.
Oregon, you just throw them in Vancouver, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get down to business. Let's do win-loss totals this week for the Big Ten. Everyone's waiting. We did the Big Ten last because that conference is the defending national champion, even though that team from that conference can't beat a certain team about an hour, 2.5 hours from them. But I digress. You know what? Just at me at this point. Find me on Twitter at Fourth One, or not Twitter, Instagram, Fourth One Podcast, Fourth One Pod on TikTok. Just at us.
So I just need to make a comment because I think it's the dumbest argument. Because, obviously I'm a Michigan fan.
Obviously.
The dumbest argument of saying, well, their national championship doesn't mean anything because they didn't beat us is the most bullshit thing
for sure.
Ever.
For sure. No.
Any
You're
Michigan
100%
fans
correct.
that hangs their hat on that on those comments is the dumbest shit ever. Part of my language. If the Michigan fans want to come at me. Guess what? I don't care because it's stupid. We beat them. Fine. They won the championship. Fine. If we beat Alabama 1 year and they win the championship 12 years from now, like, hey, back in the Rose Bowl and then back in the Outback Bowl that we played them in, we beat you twice, so that championship doesn't mean jack. It's like, no, that's stupid.
They
won it. They got on a hot streak. Right. That's the beauty of football. You can lose games and still win games.
It's the beauty of this new playoff model where you can in the BCS model. Yeah, Michigan would have done in Ohio State with that loss in week 12, right? Like that would have been the end of Ohio State season. They would have gotten a nice, probably New Year's 6 game, as it was called at the time, and then we move on. But no, you're 100% right. At that point, I was just clowning. So Ohio State, congratulations, you're the 2024 national champion.
New boot goofing.
But I was just feeling a little goofy there in that moment. All right, let's start with. We're going to start with Illinois because FanDuel put them in alphabetical order. Sound good?
Rocket.
Wonderful. All right. Illinois is a sleeper team for most people. There's my transition. Illinois is a sleeper team for most people because it's Brett Bielema, because it's Luke Altmaier's senior season. He's returning. They won 10 games last year, I believe. They had a good season. Now, a lot of their wins, they hung their hat on beating Michigan at home. They hadn't done that in a while. Duke, stop. Either up or down. Okay, he picked up. He picked up, apparently. The door was open. He's scratching at it. Just, dude, push it open. Whatever. So, there's a lot of expectations in Champaign, Illinois. The Fighting Illini, they are at 8.5 wins, sitting pretty. I don't know their schedule. I apologize.
I'll tell you.
Okay, great.
I have it up. Okay, the dark shade is away. I have like the Big Ten, like the grid.
Yeah.
So they color code everything, but one of them, the first one's an FCS school. I'm going to say it's Ferris State.
Sure.
At Duke, home against Western Michigan. At Indiana, home against USC. At Purdue, home against Ohio State, bye week. Away at Washington, home against Rutgers, bye week. Home against Maryland, at Wisconsin, home against Northwestern. Everything I've been hearing about Illinois, I kind of feel like they're going to go over because in reality, there's only one or two teams there that I think they're going to lose to. One of them being Ohio State, more than likely. But, so I mean, 10-2, 11-1.
Okay. All right, 10-2, 11-1. So you're taking the over on the Fighting Illini. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm also with you. I think it's definitely over. I'm gonna hesitate and probably say 9-3. That week 2 Duke game, that's a big deal. Duke 9 wins last year, I believe. They're improved. They got the quarterback from Tulane coming in. They are Manny Diaz had that defense rocking last year. I would only imagine that would continue. So that's a tough game and something to watch out for. I would assume that they drop to Ohio State. I think USC is tough. And then they go to Washington, and then Wisconsin's a rivalry game. So I think a combination, they at least get 3 losses in all that combination.
So that first game is against Western Illinois. I said Ferris State because that's the only one that I think has that Bulldog look to it.
Yeah.
So Western Illinois, regardless, it's a win. It's on Peacock. That's how much that game matters.
Okay. We are sorry, Western Illinois fans. We do apologize. We're actually probably the most sorry for, out of all the things we're going to say today, we're most sorry for that. All right. Let's go to different state. I almost said same state. Different state. Same win, over under win total for FanDuel. It is Indiana. It is Kirk Cignetti's second year. New quarterback, kind of a new kind of roster. They did go into the portal a little bit, but not nearly as much as week 1. So Indiana's kind of looking good. They are also at 8.5 wins. They are taking the SEC sort of schedule because they believe the Big Ten conference is just as good as the SEC. Kirk Cignetти has said as much. They get Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois. Those are all home games. And then they're at Iowa, at Oregon, home Michigan State, UCLA before they go back on the road to Maryland and Penn State before they come back on the road come back home for Wisconsin and then go back and then back on the road for Purdue to close out the season. So Indiana's sitting at 8.5. I apologize. Do we know Indiana's starting quarterback situation? Fernando Mendoza, the Cal transfer. Yes, we do. Thank you, ChatGPT. You actually did something right for once.
You said it was 8.5.
It is 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 8. So I'm going to actually go under.
Okay.
Obviously they should go 3-0 to start.
Who are you getting losses to?
So, Illinois. I'm going to say Illinois.
Yeah.
I think Illinois is going to kind of surprise people, but everyone's talking about them, so it's not much of a surprise.
Fair.
You got to wave to the kids at Iowa, so that's a loss.
Yeah.
The pink locker rooms. Do they sell the pink locker rooms?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then they have you're at Iowa, at Oregon. That's a very tough back-to-back.
So they're dropping 3 straight. They're winning 4 straight and then dropping 3.
I would say, because they're gonna,
Or
that,
win in 3, drop in 3. Okay.
yeah, win 3, drop 3. Then you probably beat Michigan State, beat UCLA, beat Maryland, and then lose at Penn State,
Okay.
and then Wisconsin, Purdue. Maybe Wisconsin figures it out. Maybe they fire Luke Fickell by this point. And then at Purdue, I mean, they could probably sneeze and win at Purdue.
Or maybe Purdue's going to revive some Jeff Brom and shock someone, a top-rated team. Who knows?
No, it's November. It's November.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The Purdue upsets come in October, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so why don't we move on to another state with slightly lower win totals, and that would be the Iowa Hawkeyes. Pink locker rooms and kid waving and all. They are 7.5. Iowa brought in new offensive coordinator last year. Much improved offense. Cade McNamara got hurt, which kind of derailed things a little bit. Cade McNamara is now FCS. Iowa, kind of up in the air who they're going to start right now, quarterback-wise, so we'll have to see. But Kirk Ferentz always has a fundamentally sound defense. I think that's fair to say at this point. Am I wrong?
They are the most consistent defense, I think, ever.
Okay. All right. So they're the most consistent. They always have good special teams. Consistent defense, as we said. Their offense, though, for the better... Well, how long are we going on with their offense issues? 5 years? Longer than that?
5 or 6 years at this point.
5-6 years, depending on if you count COVID or not, have been just awful. Brought a new offensive coordinator last year. Much improved, kind of got halfway up the rankings. I think they were hung out in the 70s from what I saw for most of the year. So Iowa opens with, I don't even know who that is. Some Albany, an FCS school. Then they're on the road at Iowa State, come back home for UMass, on the road to Rutgers. They got kind of a home away things going. Then they go on the road to Indiana. Or I'm sorry, home against Indiana, on the road, Wisconsin, home to the following teams: Penn State, Minnesota, by Oregon, at USC, home versus Michigan State, at Nebraska. Their schedule's tough.
Yeah.
They got a middle schedule there between Wisconsin, always plays them tough, Penn State, Minnesota always plays them tough, by Oregon and SC, which I think will be most improved. And then let's not forget about Nebraska. That's at Lincoln, Nebraska. So they're hanging out at 7.5. What we got for Iowa, Bob?
I am going under. It kind of feels like almost like a 6-6 kind of.
Okay. You
schedule.
think they kind of rock their first half of the schedule and then lose the back half of the schedule?
Yeah, I think home against Oregon, especially in the back half, because you at least get Penn State, dude. Exactly. I was trying to do the math, and yeah, so you get Penn State at home. At how I feel about Penn State this year. Penn State's is my national champion pick.
Okay, all right.
Spoiler
alert. Gosh, Rob, you're just now people aren't going to listen to the rest of the podcast.
Well, they'll tune in to see what I see about.
At least we still get the views. If they made it 18 minutes in, we still get the view, so it's fine.
So, we're there. But so you get Oregon at home. You have to go to USC, and what we saw last year is if you're making the cross-continent travel, you're probably losing that game. And then the Michigan State, Nebraska one of those two. I don't know if I want to say probably the Nebraska one, I would say, is the one that they're more likely to lose, because I don't think Michigan State has really much.
Iowa's always fighting mediocrity. And I know that sounds bad, but that's just where my brain's at and the word I can come up with. Iowa's a very historically good, solid, fundamental football team. But because of the region their country is in, because of the landscape of their overall vibe of their university and football team, they're not going to get the 4 and 5 stars to help them compete at the highest level. I don't know what just happened. So they're kind of just stuck in this swirl of, as you said, 6-6 mediocrity. Now, can a good, solid offense and running game help do that? Yes. Will Iowa have good years? Yes. Will there be bad years? Absolutely. But that's kind of the swirl that I would say Iowa, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern was there once upon a time. I would say Rutgers can
Huh.
absolutely get there. Wisconsin, they're just kind of they're going to have good years and then they're going to have bad years and then they're just going to be a lot of years where they're 8-4, 7-5, 6-6. And that's okay. We need that in college football. The big dog, Michigan was there for about a decade, just swirling around mediocrity. Robert made a great point. The hospital opened, Children's Hospital opened in 2017. Coincidentally, the offense started to sputter right around that time. So take of that what you will. Not saying blame the kids, but I'm saying maybe look into that.
You know, Iowa has not had a losing season since 2012.
Yeah, right.
That's such a weird.
Right. They're again
because you see how bad their offense plays at times, but they still win the game because of their defense.
They're a good, solid, fundamental program, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you thinking, or anyone thinking, they're going to go 12-0 with this schedule, especially with Penn State and Oregon on it specifically, I think that's just asinine. And with an offense historically, better part of 6-7 years, whatever it's been, has not been good. And you rely on defense. We find out what that gets you. Michigan found out that last year, and it's about 7 or 8 wins. Okay, we're going to now come further east and go to Maryland, and things are not looking real good with Maryland. Maryland's overall win total is 4.5, and their schedule isn't too daunting, but they have just been on this decline year after year since Mike Locksley's getting there. They kind of started up, and now over the last 3 years, they've just kind of slowly tilted that nose down. FAU and NIU and whoever they're playing in week 3, that picture's Townsend.
Yeah.
Hopefully 3-0. However, Northern Illinois is a good football team in the MAC, and FAU is respectable. At least they were when Kiffin was there, and I think Tom Herman was there, or might still be there, so I'm not sure what FAU is doing. All I'm saying is let's not sneeze at those games. Then they're on the road to Wisconsin by home against Washington, Nebraska, at UCLA by Indiana, at Rutgers, Illinois, home against Michigan, and at Michigan State. Not a daunting schedule for 4.5. Yeah.
I mean, they could easily start 3-0, and then, I mean, if I'm being honest, November 22nd, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think they beat Michigan.
I'm not in that.
I mean, listen. I think they'll win 5, and that's the game that Michigan struggles the most. Is the game before Ohio State.
True. Sometimes
the 1,000 win.
Right, but the year before that they beat them like 59-7.
Yeah, but we also weren't supposed to beat Ohio State that year either.
All right,
we're not supposed to beat Ohio State any year.
Yeah, that's true.
In theory,
that's true. They are the defending national champions. All right, so then you like Maryland over at 5. I'm not going to argue with you. Let's go to Michigan. This is going to be one of the most closely followed teams especially to start the season, because of their early matchups and how they finished the season last year. Bryce Underwood coming in, number 1 overall recruit. Will it be him? Will it be Mikey Keene? Robert, what would you want as a Michigan fan? What do you want to see?
I don't know, because it wasn't really. I mean, obviously you're going to look at it and say, well, Mikey Keene at least has the experience. However, I literally had to sit there and watch Michigan beat the hell out of Mikey Keene for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make me feel any good. You might as well start Bryce. You're paying the kid. Start him.
That's fair.
Worst comes to worst. He's terrible. We wasted money. No school's going to pay him the money. So, lost on investment, whatever. We forgive, forget, move on, and we either go to the transfer portal or we sit here for 12 weeks and scream at the computer.
I want the kid to start who deserves to start. I don't want Bryce to start just because we paid him all the money. But if it's a neck and neck race, start Bryce and start the development early, right?
No.
But if Mikey Keene is better than Bryce in fall ball, Mikey Keene better be starting me football games because they start at home, Arkansas State. Tough schedule early because they go to Norman, Oklahoma. Very good defense with Brent Venables. Offense, John Mateer, highly productive QB. We'll see what that offense is if it's any better than last year. Then Sharon Moore is suspended for home against Central Michigan and at Nebraska. By Wisconsin home, at SC, home Washington, at Little Brother, home Purdue, bye, and then it's at Northwestern, at Maryland, and finish up against the team down south in Columbus. They are at 9.5. I am just going to jump you real quick, and I'm just going to say under. I'm going to say 9-3.
That's what I was going with.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, okay. In my scenario, we beat Oklahoma just because it's like that early game.
Yeah.
If the game was later in the season, Oklahoma kind of figures it out. Maybe we lose that one. I'm saying we lose at Nebraska.
And then in Columbus? Or at home too?
Well, because I said we would beat Oklahoma, my 3 losses would be at Nebraska, at Maryland, home against Ohio State.
Okay. So I'm going to say I'm actually going to say we lose to Oklahoma early, and then we somehow figure out Central Michigan and Nebraska without Sharon. Or we lose to Nebraska and we're starting 2-2. And then we go on a run after the bye. And it wouldn't surprise me if Mikey Keene starts the first 4. We go into the bye, we come out, and Underwood then takes over. I think then we go on a run, and we're either going to get tripped up somewhere by Little Brother, by a Maryland, or like SC somewhere, or it's Ohio State. It's one of those two. It's either we're going to lose a game we should win and then beat Ohio State, or we win all the games we're supposed to win and then beat Ohio and then lose to Ohio State. Something in there. So I agree with you. I think 9-3, and I think it's a respectable 9-3. We'll have to see how the playoff things fall, but I think we're in that conversation late in November.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Little Brother, Michigan State, their over-under is 5.5. It is year 2 under Jonathan Smith. They, I believe, still have Aiden Childs on the roster. So, kind of returning head coach, quarterback tandem. They couldn't beat Michigan at home last year when Michigan didn't have an offense. But first year under Jonathan Smith, it was a productive year and better than what it was. And I felt like even during that game, because I did not watch Michigan State football outside of that game, that's only why I'm talking about it. I felt like Michigan State was more together than they were the previous 3 years. That's all I will say. So Michigan State opens with Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State all at home. Then they go to SC bye and to Nebraska. Then they kind of got a home away thing going here where it's home UCLA, at Indiana, home Michigan, at Minnesota, bye, home Penn State, at Iowa, home Maryland. So Michigan State 5.5. The question is, are they making a bowl game this year?
That's a no for me. I'm saying they're going 5-7.
Okay, great. All right, we got 18 teams to do, so we're just going to pick up the pace slightly. Nebraska is 7.5. Matt Rule and your Lord and Savior, Jesus Dylan Raiola. Year 2.
Alphabetical order. We're going to skip over Minnesota.
We are, no, that's just because. I kid you not, FanDuel goes from Michigan State to Nebraska. There's no Minnesota. I'm not even joking with you right now. There's no Minnesota on here. How does FanDuel not even have Minnesota? All right. Well, what does okay, Minnesota, we have, I'll just use ChatGPT. Oh my goodness, they still have Tanner Morgan on here. Tanner Morgan hasn't been there forever. Wow, ChatGPT, get it together. 6.5. We'll just roll with 6.5, somewhere around there, because that's probably where Minnesota will be. PJ Fleck returning. Row that boat. Minnesota. Their tough games. Let me do it this way. Their tough games are at Ohio State, at Oregon, at Iowa. They got 3, and at Cal, I would say. And then they're home to Rutgers, Purdue, Nebraska, Michigan State, and Wisconsin.
I mean, it's a 6-win ball club.
So you're going to go, if it is truly 6.5, again, I'm sorry, I'm on the FanDuel website. I don't know why they're not on here.
If it's 6.5, I would say under and give them 6.
Okay. So Robert thinks 6. So find that number, whatever that is, and whatever that is at, either go above or below it. Now we can get to Nebraska. How about that? Nebraska is at 7.5 wins. Matt Rule, your Lord and Savior, Dylan Raiola, marching down. They have a tough opener. Well, it's a neutral site game, actually, between Nebraska, Cincinnati. That's week 1. Then they get Nebraska. Who's HCU?
Houston Christian
and Michigan all at home before they go on a bye. And then their tough games are at Penn State, UCLA, home versus SC. They do have Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Iowa, and Northwestern in there.
If they beat Michigan, they're going 10-2.
Okay.
And their losses are coming at the end of the season. At UCLA, they got to travel.
Yep.
And then at Penn State. And that at Penn State game will be probably like Penn State's a top 5 school. Nebraska's top 15.
Yeah,
maybe?
That'll be electric. That'll be big noon kickoff. Everyone will love that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I like it.
So you're going over for Nebraska then. Definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Love that for everyone. So is Northwestern next? Because now I'm worried.
Well,
yes.
Hold on. Just tell me what the over-under is for Northwestern.
3.5.
Under.
Okay.
Next team.
It is the reigning champions, the 2024 national champions, Ohio State. They are 10.5. Ryan Day returning, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, basically new staff, basically all new offense. All new defense. Julian Sayin probably getting the start there. That's what people are hearing. That's what I'm reading. Because that's what people are hearing, sort of deal. However, there is another quarterback in the mix. And they got Jeremiah Smith. And C.J. Donaldson, the running back from West Virginia, a couple 1,000-yard seasons there in Morgantown. They have a tough week 1 game, but they are home to Texas, Grambling State, Ohio before they get a bye. And then they go to Washington, home versus Minnesota, to Illinois, Wisconsin, bye. Out of the bye is home Penn State. Purdue's a win at this point in time. Home to UCLA and Rutgers before they go on the road to Ann Arbor. 10.5. So basically, are they winning 11?
I'm saying yes.
Okay.
I'm saying 11-1.
I'm going to say 10-2.
I mean, 10-2 is obviously the other option.
I think Texas gets them week 1. And then I think someone else I'm not saying Michigan, because I don't think Michigan. I think Michigan loses to them.
I have them beating Michigan.
So I think somewhere else in there. You can't tell me a first-time starting quarterback, whoever they choose, is just going to roll down this Big Ten schedule without a close game or a loss.
November 1st, dog. It's the day.
Who's that? Who's November 1st?
Penn State.
Ohio State, Penn State. Yeah. There you go.
That's what we'll
Or,
find out.
well, and they don't get Purdue in October, so they missed that one.
No. Yeah.
Indiana, though, played them close last year.
Or it would be October 11th, which is when they're at Illinois.
Yeah, something like that, you know? Okay, so then we are going to another team that begins with O that also has 10.5 wins, and that would be the Ducks of Oregon. They are taking on Montana State. I think they are the reigning FCS champions. Am I wrong?
No, they lost. They lost to,
North Dakota?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, however, very good FCS team. Then they get Oklahoma State at home, and then they go to Northwestern. Sleepy time game there. Sleepy, probably 11 a.m. kickoff there because Big Ten Network ain't putting that on at night. Come on. Then they're home for the Civil War between them and Oregon State at Penn State. Their other tough games are at Washington and at Iowa. And then they also have to travel all the way cross country to Rutgers. 10.5 for them, Rob.
I am going to. It's hard not to say that they're going to get 11 wins.
I don't know. Like, Oklahoma State could give me 3 wins as they did last year, or they could give me 10 and beat Oregon, you know?
Yeah, I'll stick with it. I'll go over 11.
Love that. All right. Nittany Lions are also at 10.5. Their tough games are on the road at Ohio State, on the road, and I say tough, home against Oregon, on the road against Iowa, and they are hosting Nebraska. Their non-conference schedule's a joke. Nevada, FIU, and
always is dog.
And Villanova. Then they get in. They play Oregon off of a bye at home. They finish at Rutgers, so depending on how Rutgers season goes, and they do have to go to East Lansing. So maybe, but what you got? They're your defending national champion, so I assume you have them over.
Yeah, 11-1, 12-0. You know, a lot of it's the Ohio State game for them. Like, you know, they have to beat Ohio State.
It's the Penn State way to mess around with Iowa, though.
Right, because they could go to Iowa, and that would be the game. Iowa nuts up, kicks a field goal.
It's the
week before.
It's the game before. They do have a bye into Ohio State, but it's the game before. So are they thinking about Ohio State when they're playing Iowa?
It's a trap game.
Yeah, for sure. I still have them at 11-1. I think I'm on the board. It's either them or Clemson right now are my favorites. Just their production. Do you want to just do Purdue? It's 3.5.
What's their 3.5?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say they're gonna get 4. They're a terrible team, terrible program, but I'm gonna say they're gonna get 4.
All right. I need you to name the 4.
Okay. So first off, Southern Illinois. They're gonna squeak that one.
They're losing to Ball State. Week 1, they're losing.
More than likely, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna say they beat Northwestern. It's at Northwestern, so they're playing at the lacrosse field.
Okay.
I'm going to say they beat Rutgers just because it's Rutgers, and they very well could also lose to Rutgers.
Yeah.
But, and then they're going to get someone. They're going to get someone real sneaky, maybe Illinois.
Okay.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think they get 4 wins.
Okay.
Maybe they surprise us and get Ball State.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Speaking of Rutgers, they are 5.5. Their non-con is 2 MAC schools, and who's that third one in week 3?
Norfolk State.
Okay. They have to go to Ohio State, to Illinois, to Washington, and to Minnesota. They get Iowa at home, they get Oregon at home, they get Penn State at home, and they get Maryland at home. Brutal schedule because they get Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. Iowa's a rivalry game, but they get the current Big 3 in the Big 10 on one schedule. Sucks to suck. So
was it 4.5, 3.5, 5.5?
5.5.
Shit. I'm gonna say they go under. I think they only get 5.
Okay. When does Greg Schiano's seat start to warm up at all, or is Rutgers just okay with 5-6 wins? Like, are they okay swirling in the swirling
Well,
pool of mediocrity
I
sort of
think
deal?
I think the realization for a lot of these schools, like Purdue, Northwestern, Rutgers, is you have to accept the fact that you're never going to be as good as Michigan. You're never going to be as good as Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, USC, because nobody wants to go to New Jersey. People leave New Jersey to go other places, right? Birthplace of college football, the death place of college football. That's kind of what it turns into.
We're
Don't be
just
wrong.
we're just alienating
Don't
more
be
and more.
wrong.
You're not.
It's like Wisconsin. Who
You're
goes to Wisconsin?
you're
Unless
not.
you're made to.
All right. You know who goes to UCLA? Nico Iamaleava. Who is their head coach again? My brain is so fried. It's not Chip Kelly. What's his name?
Is that what it told you?
It told me Chip Kelly. It's not Chip
Hold
Kelly.
on. Deshaun Foster.
Thank you. Deshaun Foster. I could see him. Couldn't speak his name. All right. UCLA is also 5.5. They get Nico, who says it was a football and family decision. Everyone knows it was not that. Can we just tell the truth? That's all. As college football fans, just come out and be like, yeah, the Tennessee situation, we made some demands, they called our bluffs, and we had to pivot to UCLA. Just say that. Like, the decision's already made. Now it's all about talent. Whether or not he starts for UCLA, where he plays a long time for UCLA, is all dependent on his on-field production. It has nothing to do with money anymore. So can we just start telling the truth? Just come out and be like, yeah, whether we told Josh, build around him or we're gone, or we demanded more money or whatever it is. Just come out, tell the truth, make everything transparent, and move on. It's 5.5. They have to go to Penn State, to Washington. They get Penn State and Washington at home, and they host SC, and they have to go to Ohio State as well. They're 5.5. What say you, Rob?
I say we go over and we sit at 6.
Okay. Alrighty. Their counterparts in Los Angeles are the USC Trojans. Lincoln Riley. I know his buyout's huge. Jaden Maiava coming in, started second half of last year. Lincoln Riley's seat's gotta be getting warm. Not hot,
hope so.
but warm. Like, what they expected him to come in and do from Oklahoma is far different than the product on the field. SC hosts Michigan, but goes to Notre Dame and Nebraska and Eugene. They have to go to Iowa. Oh, no, I'm sorry, because this away is dark. So this is, again, a trend. They don't have to go in November, they don't have to go too cold Northwestern. They don't have to go too cold Iowa. They don't have to go too cold, or they do have to go too cold Nebraska. But that's in October. So, like, at what point are we going to help? Like, is the Big Ten going to be like, nah, these southern schools, they got to go east sort of deal? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that won't happen.
So they are, what I say, 7.5? 7.5. What say you?
1, 2, 3. 7.5. I like that. I would say they're probably going to sit at 7.
Okay. So,
I think they'll beat the brakes off of Notre. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to.
You should have gone through. You should have gone through with it.
I was going to go through with it, but I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll save them the embarrassment for them when it actually does happen.
There it is.
But
all right, so you like the under?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, I'll take the under.
All right, Washington, as my grandmother would say, they also sit at 7.5. Jed Fish, year 2. They go to Michigan, Wisconsin, UCLA, and Washington State. They get Ohio State, Oregon, Illinois, and Rutgers all at home.
I like them at 7. Would you say it was 7.5?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go under.
Okay, great. All right, Wisconsin is the last school, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. Wisconsin, Luke Fickell's seat's got to be on fire. I think everyone's in agreement on that, except for people outside this podcast.
If he doesn't, okay, if they don't make a bowl game this year, which is definitely possible,
Yeah,
like scary possible.
their win total is 5.5.
Yeah, it's very and I could see them winning 5. Like,
Is he what was that? What did we nickname the hot seat last year? The Billy Napier who's getting fired by the Billy Napier hot seat week 6 or something like that.
If it wasn't Jimbo, it was Billy Napier. There's always one.
Yeah, there's always one. Luke Fickell might be it this year. And he might, honestly, after week 6 going into Iowa, be fired. So he gets Miami of Ohio and Middle Tennessee State. Let's remember, I don't know anything about Middle Tennessee State, but let's just remember for a second they beat Miami, okay? Like 2 years ago. They're at Alabama. Bummer. They host Maryland and then they roll into Michigan. Super bummer. Before they host Iowa and Ohio State and then go on the road to Eugene. So I'm thinking somewhere in there, if they are not good, they are fired. Washington, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota. It goes home away there. They're 5.5.
If they walk into Ohio State at 3-3 or less,
they're hosting Ohio State. I'm sorry if I said they were on the road.
Regardless, it might as well be Ohio State of the North. But if they're 3-3, I mean, they got to say, like, listen, you got to beat Ohio State, you're gone. Is what it is. Go back to Cincinnati. Go back to a smaller school. Figure it out. But Wisconsin's not for you.
3, 4, 5. 6. They went 6-6 last year, but that was at 5-7 at the year before.
That's still not good for Wisconsin, though.
Oh, wait, no, they won 5 games. Excuse me. Sorry, I read the Minnesota-Wisconsin score backwards. They won 5 games. Their close game was when they hosted number 1 Oregon, but they lost to Minnesota 24-7. They lost to Nebraska 44-25. They lost to Iowa 42-10. Penn State 28-3. They lost to USC 38-21. Like, when they lost, they didn't lose by 1 score, right? This was not a Nebraska where you feel like, oh, they're right there. They're right there. They're not. They're not. Actually, the Oregon, they only lost by 3. And, I mean, they did good beating up on the bad teams. Rutgers, they won by 35. Wisconsin, they won, or Northwestern, they won by 20. Purdue, everyone beat Purdue by that much. South Dakota, that was what it was. Western Michigan, they beat them by 14. So, like, you might be right, man. That's a tough. And what's sad is Luke Fickell, and I said this last year, he was supposed to come in and be the guy from the Midwest. Success as the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. Success head coach Cincinnati. He was supposed to he can bring the Midwestern values and traditions and realign Wisconsin. First mistake you said he made, hiring Phil Longo, power spread. And you're like, what are you doing? Why are you going power air raid? Like, Wisconsin needs to line up in 12 and 13 personnel and pound people. Pause.
When you think of Wisconsin football, you think of Ron Dane,
Monte
Ball. You think of Jonathan Taylor, like
Melvin Gordon.
They're the only wide receiver I think I know is it Al Toon. And the only reason I know that is because his kid played later on. And every time he caught it, they would all yell, "Toon!" That was it. That's the only wide receiver I know. But the running backs is a totally different scope because that was their identity.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
even think back to one of their best season, that season with Russell Wilson, right? Ranked in top 5, I believe, at some point that season. Lost like 2 games like on Hail Mary plays at the end of the game. Went to the Rose Bowl, I believe lost to Oregon. What did they do in that season? They ran the football.
oh yeah,
12, 13 personnel, big tight ends, taking play action shots over the top. And it's just like Luke Fickell came in and everyone's like, yay, we're going to get back to that. And immediately he goes, let's go for wide receivers. Let's spread it out and let's throw the ball. What are we doing?
Off, if you're going for 12, 13 personnel, that's a flag every time, dog. You can only have 11 on the field.
No, 12 personnel is 2 tight ends. 13 personnel is either 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends and a fullback. It's personnel. It's not people on the field.
Or put the numbers on the field. Put me 11 people on the field and just run the ball.
Yes, but it's the personnel package.
We're not looking for personnel packages here, Micaiah.
You even played football. Shouldn't you know that?
Yeah, dog. High school football. There was no personnel package. It was you put Jimmy from algebra class at left guard, you put Timmy Tucker at fullback, and then you put whoever at running back, and you just ran the damn thing straight. That's what you did.
HB dive every time, right?
Hell yeah. We run the ball 77 times in a game. You know what? We'd lose by 42. But hey, we had a hell of a running back.
Doing their best, Purdue. All right, let's get to the fun stuff here. We've been talking now for 51 minutes. Everyone hates this podcast already. I have alienated Notre Dame. We've alienated soccer fans. We've taken shots at Ohio State, I believe. We said Purdue and Northwestern are just going to be trash. So maybe we can add to our all 4th and 1 team, and that would be the tight end. If you don't know, if you aren't familiar with our 4th and 1 team, go listen to literally every single podcast before this. This is how we're going to keep track of people throughout the year and make sure we're touching on different sections and teams throughout the podcast throughout the year. So we have Garrett Nussmeier, Katron Allen, and Desmond Reed at running back. Wide receivers are Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. I'm regretting not putting Tyson in there more and more every single day. But that is what it is. Watch Ryan Williams pop off for 1,500 yards. Go, Ryan Williams. Nick Harbor is actually the one I regret not putting Jordan Tyson in with, but that is what it is. O-line, we took Georgia. Defense, we took 2 defenses of Texas A&M and Clemson. We did that most recently. So we are on tight ends. I'm married to one of the best tight ends ever. Thank you.
Not me. Not Robert.
Not Robert.
Not me.
Not Robert. Me. My lovely wife, Carrie. Love you. All right, let's go.
Ooh. Understandably, we want to jump into this.
Yeah.
I just want to circle back to the schedules.
Okay.
I have 4 teams sitting at 11 and 1.
Wait,
who goes to the conference championship?
Okay, well, damn, dude. You always ask me this. You're always like, I don't know how they're going to figure this out. They have like 19 tiebreakers.
They do.
They'll figure it out.
But yeah, I know. But I want to hear your take.
Okay, who are your teams at 11 and 1? Because
Illinois, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State.
Okay, well, Illinois just get them out of here right away. Goodbye.
Illinois would have the one that would probably have the least amount of tiebreakers.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. So I'm still just going to throw them out because I don't think they're sniffing 11 and 1. I really don't. Could be wrong, but I don't think they're sniffing 11 and 1. I will take Penn State and Ohio State. I think Oregon, and now the mighty Duck fans are going to come after me. I think Oregon is going to have and I want everyone to look at the camera and hear what I'm saying, down year and only win 9 or 10 games. I think a first-time starter at quarterback, even though he played at UCLA, first-time full season starting, and at some point, you're just like, Oregon does not have a lot of returning starters. We covered this last week. Oregon has like one of the least amount of returning starters. They have like 5 from last year. Dan Lanning's a good motivator and a good recruiter, and I'm sure a good developer. but you can't just expect them to roll over year after year after year after year after year. Like they went from Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel, and now they're going to historically successful and great quarterbacks in all of college football history to a guy that started maybe 6 games. They're going to have a down year, in my opinion. So I'm taking Ohio State because I just believe in Ryan Day. I don't think Ohio State goes 11-1. I think they're also 10-2, but I think they win some tiebreakers in there. So I think it is Penn State because I do agree 11-1. Penn State's probably second best team in the nation. I hate Penn State so much I just can't do it. And I will take Ohio State.
Okay. All right,
bud. So now is the time.
Yeah, now it's time. Here we go.
Just angered the Duck fans too, but they're fine.
Whatever. First tight end on the board, Eli Stowers from Vandy.
Okay.
Tanner, I'm going to struggle with these names. Koziol from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And Luke Haas from Ole Miss.
I know nothing right off the bat. I like the Vanderbilt tight end in the 2 games I watched of him. He was always open. I'm going to start him. I'm going to bench Haas because when I played with Ole Miss in the college football video game, dude was unstoppable. And yes, that is my reasoning. And I'm going to cut the Wisconsin tight end because what are we doing in Wisconsin? Get back to the 12 and 13 personnel, and then maybe we'll talk. Or in Robert's case, get back to from algebra class.
People in the field.
Okay.
All right. So next we have Kenny Sadiq from Oregon.
Okay.
Oscar Dell from Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
And Jack Endries from Texas.
Okay. Give me Oscar Delp. I will then take the Oregon tight end, and I will cut the Texas tight end because I think Texas. I think he might be a good tight end. Again, I don't know anything about him, but Texas kind of relies more on wide receivers, running back, than they do tight end. And in the last couple of years, Oregon has really had productive tight ends when they've been good.
Okay. Miles Kitzelman from Tennessee.
Okay.
Lawson Lucky from Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Back to that two.
Yep. 12 personnel, Rob, is what that's called.
Yep. 2 tight ends on the field. Still need 11 people.
Okay.
Max Clare from Ohio State.
Okay. I will go with Lucky because in the game I watched, I will start Lucky because
I thought you were going to say because of the game I played.
And because of the game I played. No, in the games I watched of Georgia last year, I actually thought that Lucky was a little better than Delp. I will bench the Tennessee tight end and cut the Ohio State tight end. Let's just do it that way.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize, all you tight ends. I'm not familiar with your game, as the kids say.
Unsung heroes.
Yeah, that they are. I'm not saying their position is important, and I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just unfamiliar. All of these tight ends, I'm unfamiliar with their game.
Okay. Justin Jolly, North Carolina State. Love the name.
Timeout. We're on a historical name of tight end. We're on a historical run of tight end names right now.
Yeah. These names are great.
Justin Jolly from, where was he from?
North Carolina State.
Okay, North Carolina State.
Trey Lechner from Washington State.
Okay.
This name looks familiar. Tanner Koziol from Houston.
I thought you did.
Did I say his name already?
Who was the Wisconsin tight end?
Oh,
was that
for
Clout?
Pete's sake, Robert.
Did you do it twice?
On. So yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, this is great. How do you find these tight ends, by the way? You just look at the rosters?
I usually get I look at the top 50.
Okay.
Jelly. Okay. I wonder if did he come from Houston?
Maybe.
No. Tanner Koziel plays for Wisconsin,
Okay.
and he came from Ball State.
Okay. So I'm going to start him immediately. Wait, no, that was the Wisconsin guy.
That was different. Who was this Houston guy that I found? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to change it to Randy Pittman Jr. from Florida State.
Oh, okay. So then, and who were the other ones?
Justin Jolly and Trey Lechner.
Okay, so I'm going to start Justin Jolly straight off the name. I'm going to bench Randy Pittman because I play with him in college football 26, and Lechner I'm going to cut.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where I found him. Okay.
Also, I think Lechner was from Washington State. You said, right? I think he's just going to be. No one's really going to be paying attention to Washington State this year.
All right, so now we come to our final four.
Okay. And how many tight ends are we taking? One or two?
Two.
Okay, great.
So we have Eli Stowers,
Okay.
Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, and Justin Jolly.
And am I choosing two?
Choosing two.
Okay. I'm going to take Sowers, Austin, the Vanderbilt tight end.
Yeah.
Is it Stowers with the T?
Stowers, Stowers.
Okay. I'm going to take Stowers. Again, in the two games I played, he was like the only person on Vanderbilt getting open for Pavia. And then I am going to take Lucky as well. Because, again, between him and Oscar Delp, I felt like Lucky was the better tight end of the two.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's
okay.
I probably would have went Stowers and Delp, but Georgia has a really good knack of not using. Literally on this list, there are 4 Georgia tight ends.
Oh wow! Okay,
but Georgia is very good at not using them as a tight end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A lot of them will actually play more receiver than actually tight end. They do essentially the opposite of what Penn State and Michigan do in Iowa, where they actually use them as tight ends and then maneuver them from there.
Yeah.
But
so we've done tight ends, running back, wide receivers, and we've done defenses and quarterbacks. So are we done, or do we have?
Well, so we figure we got 4 weeks until season starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we got kickers and punters in there as well?
That means we're going to do kickers 1 week.
Okay.
We're going to do punters another week.
Yep.
And then the week before the first game, we're going to go stadium atmosphere.
And we're going to pick the stadium. All right.
Yep.
You heard it here first, everyone. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to wash your hands, you filthy animals. Follow us. TikTok, 4th and 1 Pod. Instagram, 4th and 1 Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you next week. Looking forward to it.